Mike and Mel here, back out in the garage, and today we are going to replace the headlight on Melly's Triumph Speedmaster. We've had it about almost 3 years now, your bike.
Mm-hmm.
And since then there's been a ton of upgrades, and we'll go over those later. But for now, we're going to replace the headlamp, the actual reflector assembly, the whole thing. This is the factory halogen one for the United States with an H4 bulb. And what I had done was I had bought, about 2 years ago, I bought an LED halogen H4 replacement bulb because it's a lot brighter. But the issue with that, the fan is going out on it, and eventually the bulb's going to die. So that's today's project. Ready, Mel?
Yep.
All right. What Melly's got here is our replacement bulb. A little bit of an unboxing, some destructions. Who needs that? So what this is it's a 7-inch Eagle Lights Halo LED bulb, and it's like all one assembly. And if you step away real quick, you can see that my Scout has the very same type of light bulb.
Sorry,
assembly.
I didn't know what you... Just step away.
Step away, woman.
Step off.
Step off, man. Now to move, Mel's moved her ass. You can see it's a similar type. It's a bigger version, but it's I have a 5-inch LED projector halo headlight on my Scout, and it's been really good. We'll demonstrate now. It's really bright and probably too hard to see from the exposure. I don't know if I can put my finger there, but there's an LED halo all around the headlight. Looks pretty cool. So that's today's objective. Get that wheezing, whining headlamp out of there and replace it with the Eagle Lights. They're actually kind of designed for Harleys, so we're gonna have to make it work. It should fit. All right, Mel, let's get stuck in. Guess we gotta remove Melly's dark fly screen. You wanna get one, just Google it, man. That's all you got to do. The great and powerful Google. I shall hold your nuts and bolts and screws and stuff. I am the bolt master. I'm an old screwdriver. I'm your helper today, Mel, instead of the other way around. So now you got access to the bucket. So the headlight just comes off with there's a couple of screws here on the side. Just two. I mean, it's a pretty easy upgrade. Now it's been like probably well over 2 years since I've had it apart. And Melly didn't see me take it apart. So this will be Melly's challenge. So if memory serves me correct, and if we don't know, I do have the service manual we can refer to. It swings from the bottom out. Like probably the bottom out first. So yeah, it pries up. And you can kind of see this little, it's like a little catch there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the offending part there, that fan. That's the parking light. So you have to unplug that, dude. So that's the parking light clipper. You gotta press the black to get in there.
Whoop. There you go. Broken now.
You did?
No, not really.
It's the price you pay for being a biker, Mel.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing that's holding it in is this kind of 4-way spring clip there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to pry it out, and I think the Eagle Light's just going to sit in there. But like I said, they're designed for Harleys, or at least that's what their website has. So I don't know how well this is going to work. So the next step is going to be, we can just take this guy off and then get the reflector assembly out. We've needed extra hands to get this guy out. So there's a little halogen spring clip to hold this guy in. And that's the bulb. I mean, it still works. If I can somehow manage to figure out how to fix the fan in there, I'm sure it's like a little PC fan or something, then I'll hold on to that guy. This has been the delight, because the lens is glass, and the spring clip is in there pretty good, which means it's going to be fun figuring out how to get it to work with the new light. So that dude's out. There's that little tab there that kind of locates this. I think the Eagle Lights has this kind of detail on it too, but this back reflector is like, if you look in there, I don't know if you can see. It's just like a chrome plated metal. It doesn't have any facets or anything, and then the lamp itself, or the glass lens, relies on these facets that are cast into it to kind of spread the pattern out. And this is designed for the US market so that it's not throwing light into oncoming traffic. If you put a UK version of this bulb on a US bike, you'll be blinding people coming at you because you'll be spreading the light, biasing it towards the wrong side. And then this is the parking bulb. Now, we're going to keep all of this stuff and put it in the box that the Eagle Light came with. All we're going to do is tape up the connector because I don't think the Eagle Light uses the parking light. As a matter of fact, I know it doesn't. Give you the headlight ring there, Mel. One ring to rule them all. So the Eagle Lights here has it says dot SAE on it. This is the top of the headlamp, and then we were just kind of playing around with this off camera here, trying to make sure that the lines here, which kind of represent, you know, if it's horizontal or vertical. Worst thing you'd want to do is mount it in there and have it sitting all crooked and stuff, because it would look stupid. Not to mention it would throw the light in the wrong area. These indentations, like I said, even though Eagle Lights kind of markets this for Harleys, this fits this Triumph headlight ring perfect. This little guy, we had to bend this up slightly. That's why I had to do it off camera to figure out exactly how it had to go in there. No reason why everyone has to see how the sausage is made, Mel. They just gotta know it tastes good. A little location mark on here. Doesn't fit 100%, but it's pretty darn close, so you just have to bend this little tab up. This guy up here, right? Just a little bit, and then the spring should seat into this flange around here. And if you let go a second, I got my thumbs on there. On some bikes, I guess there's an edge here on the headlamp. Doesn't always fully engage the ring, because even though this is a 7-inch headlight, some bikes have really unique headlamp reflectors. So you got to kind of watch. They're not universal guaranteed to fit. On my Scout, I had to actually go through and sand this inner edge all the way around because it was way too tight. The headlamp wouldn't seat fully in there. Now we get to wrestle the bear, Mel. Mm-hmm. First, I got to remember how the hell this went in there. Well, you better have some patience doing this crap. So this actually has to be offset, so the end of this will go under the edge of this guy right there. Stick my thumb there. Hook that dude right there. Then, aha! I got just enough room. With my mighty fingers. Nope, it's got to come over just a little bit more. Now, I don't have much room to scooch it over though, because it's going to run into the screw mounting point. Needless to say, this is a two-person job. It's a good thing I got my awesome, wonderful wife Melly to help me out here. Of course, it is your bike. The crap that I do for you. All right, it's gonna take 2 fingers. Here we go. Belly's in the picture. There we go. Ha. Not only the mighty, powerful fingers, I needed my giant, enormous belly in there to get leverage on it. And we can accidentally bend and distort the headlamp ring, so I gotta be careful how I'm doing this because I don't want to mess it up. That one's on. Last one, Mel. Boy, this light better work. You know, we probably should have tested it before we stuck it in here. We are professionals. Not. I'm gonna hold on to this, Melly. I need pliers. All right. Wedges on my enormous belly. You get in there. Good gosh. I was like, don't break my stuff. All right. It'll cooperate this time, I swear. Also got to try not to cut my fingers on this stuff. There we go. Ta-da! This is not the top of the headlight. It's actually here. Actually, we discovered, playing around with it, that there's this little hole here for water to drain out. And that hole has to line up with kind of this fin. And if you do that, which it looks like we have. The light should be lined up when it's mounted on the bike. Now we could do what we should have done before I wrestled the hell out of that spring clip to get the headlamp mounted on the ring.
Try it.
Yeah, so plug it in there. We're not going to use that parking lamp lead, so we'll just tape that off. I'll hold on to the, yeah, I'll hold on to it. Switch your sides, Mel.
Go under.
Low bridge.
Alright, ready?
Yep. Ooh, purdy. Hit your high beam. Perfect. Works, Mel, and? No fan whine. Yeah. Alrighty, let's get it buttoned up. Now we're gonna heat shrink up that wiring harness lead for the parking lights. I don't think Americans use parking lights on their motorcycles, but because it's a British motorcycle, it has the option. Fire! Fire! Bring the heat out a little bit towards the end so that it shrinks just a little bit.
I think we're out.
Inconceivable! Why do these things always run out of juice right when you need them to do their job? Piece of crap. Let me see. Always, man. Damn it. All right, let me go get another one of these. We are now the second lighter clicker into this. Aha! Success. Let it cool off and then fold it over and put the other layer on it. It's just to try and prevent corrosion from getting in there. A little bit better than taping it in the second layer. Scooch that on over the connector. There you go.
How far back? Is that good?
Somewhere centered, front to back there.
Okay.
Just so it doesn't slip off. The other one's really providing a protection. It's just so it doesn't short out against anything and not too much crud gets in there. Okay. We don't really ride in the rain, so it's not like it's going to get soaked. But it's always better safe than sorry. Still works. Melly finished heat shrinking that dude up, and then that's the parking light lead. And if we ever want to put the old headlamp assembly back on there, we can just cut the heat shrink off of there and it's good to go. Just a regular standard halogen plug, all that is. It's a really nice product. It's well made. Let's see what I was saying. It hooks onto this bit right here. There you go. And then swing it down, push the bottom in. Melly and I had to adjust the way this tilted ever so slightly because that little tab isn't perfectly lined up on the Triumph. I'm sure if it was on a Harley, it would be like, you know, perfectly vertical. I had the same problem on the Scout because that bulb's not really designed for the Scout. Maybe they sell them designed for the Scout now, but anyhow, that looks really cool, Mel. Mm-hmm. Very modern.
It does.
Makes your 2007 Speedmaster look like a 2019 Speedmaster, even though we think yours is cooler than the new one. Here you go, Mel. Thanks. Time to button it up. It looks really nice on your bike, Mel. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Eagle Lights makes that without the halo ring, but Melly likes a bit of bling. And it looks cool.
What girl does it?
I know. So that's it. It's just those two screws. So it's a super duper easy install. Other than fighting that stupid spring clip. Who has the coolest Speedmaster ever?
I do.
Mel does. That's who. I was just glad that we can make it fit you, and now it's a sweet bike.
It's a really sweet ride.
It's a sweet bike. Take it off any jumps. I wonder how many people will get the Napoleon Dynamite reference.
Well, they do now.
Well, they do, yeah, of course they do now. Give them a good snug. You don't have to kill them, but
Yeah.
because it's just a rubber grommet. Actually, I think those bottom out.
They do.
Okay,
I felt it.
cool. Let's fire that bulb up. Everything's buttoned up. Very sweet. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think with the camera exposure, it's hard to see the halo ring, but and then I-beam. Cool. It kind of looks from my angle like it gets duller, but or you know, the light intensity goes down. What's happening is it's switching which element through the projector beam that's doing the work. You want to start it up? Sweet. Look at that grin. Miss Rev Bomb Melly. So the Eagle Light's 7-inch halo projector beam LED. I think it's a Series 2. It's installed and it looks great. And while we had originally intended this to be kind of a project series, over the past year, you know, Melly's dad passed away, and then we just didn't have any motivation to do a bunch of crap out in the garage, so it's been a drought of videos. But it was more important to get the bike back together so that Mel could ride it, because we have kind of, you know, she's kind of upgraded from Barney and moved on to a bigger bike. Not that we're ever getting rid of Barney. Got more project to do on that someday. So there's been lots and lots of mods to this bike. First thing, because that's where we left off last in our project series that didn't actually end up becoming a project, was that is the original factory chain guard for the bike that we cut down, and Melly drilled a bunch of holes in it to kind of mimic what Harley does on their Nightster and some of their other Sportster models, because it's all speedy and stuff, but it's black Sandtex powder coating, which is a 3M finish for powder coating, which is also what we did that at the same time as the engine covers, because they were that horrible fake chrome. And that went out at the same time as the exhaust. The exhaust was all discolored, so it was all ceramic coated. Collectors, or the header pipe, was ceramic coated with this tungsten color, is what that is. And then we did the pipes at the same time that the engine casing, you know, engine covers and the rocker cover was done. So that it basically, I mean, it's back to its original look, but that 3M black Sandtex, S-A-N-D Tex, is a dead ringer for the original finish on that Triumph motor. The mirrors, those suckers are, they came from Revzilla. They're Biker's Choice Harley Davidson style mirrors. And then they have British Customs machined inserts so that you can use Harley mirrors on a Triumph. Those are Biltwell grips. I believe they're the Renegades. We have a Biltwell tracker bar. It's a 1-inch Baron Customs universal riser. And it really is universal. It has a couple of different inserts in it that allow you to use it on different motorcycles. So we were able to get it to fit the Speedmaster, and if you want to sit on that bike now, the original handlebars were really uncomfortable riding position for Mel, and so these, well, they probably still need a little bit more pullback, because also I think we slammed the bike, we were paranoid it was going to be too high for her, and now she flat foots it like crazy and has a bend in her knee on top of that. So I mean, this bike couldn't be more custom made for Melly, but the handlebars in a better position, probably could come back a little bit more. We may change out just the bar, not the riser, in the future. Maybe something with a little bit more bend back to it. Take a little bit of pressure off your shoulders. Mm-hmm. Those are the factory levers. They're adjustable. That's the way they come from the factory. All the lights on the bike, everything, including the dash lights. You want to click on all of the lights. They're all now LED. And we did a rectifier diode mod to get the indicators to work, because they backfeed through the dash light there, so you can see them. And I also have a solid state relay instead of the electromechanical, so that it doesn't hyper flash. All that stuff came from super bright LEDs. So every single bulb now, including the headlight, all LEDs. So it's pretty cool, even the tail light. The dart fly screen, which we talked about earlier. We have the Maverick Custom seat. That's a low profile seat. It's narrowed so that it's only the width of the frame on the bike, and it's got a really big scoop. So the original frame or seat was really wide, and it made Melly have to squat like a sumo wrestler, which made it really hard to hold the bike up. Yeah, exactly. And then because I bought that on an eBay auction, I think they were trying to unload it because somebody ordered it and then never paid for it. It was brown and it was vinyl. It didn't look very good. So we had it custom upholstered locally with real leather and a double diamond tufted pattern there. And then that gold matches the Speedmaster lettering. Little knee pads on the side of the tank. I made those. Those are actually just Tech-Spec makes knee pad kits for all kinds of bikes. And I just used some blue painter's tape and a pencil, sketched out a pattern that matched the natural knee cuts in the 07 Speedmaster fuel tank, and then we just made our own rubber knee pads because the original Triumph ones, they're not as big. They're kind of cool. They got the British flag, but ours are way cooler because they fit the bike perfectly. Let's see. I think that comes from newbonneville.com. That is a couple parts we got from them. We got that, which is just a little rack. I'm not sure who originally makes it because they rebrand it under their name. New Bonneville does. They also sold us the Rivco license plate bracket that narrows the original factory indicators. The stocks are much narrower, and it lays the license plate down so it doesn't stand upright. It's also a lot lighter too. NewBonneville.com also sold us these fork gators. I don't know if those are Triumph fork gators or if they're just ones NewBonneville.com sells. This bike now has a full 3-inch drop thanks to the progressive suspension, and even though it's been lowered that much, I mean, it's really slammed. It looks cool. With our crappy roads here in Detroit, with my 225-pound rear end on this bike, taking it for test rides over potholes and stuff, I did not bottom out that shock. So the spring rate on it's just perfect for Melly because she didn't weigh as much as I do. She's not a fat ass. That's a Tech Bike Parts steering stabilizer, which was a gift from our good friend Dell and Penny. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Got just a couple of little blingy parts. I think those came from British Customs. It's just a polished billet, clutch cable holder, and a little cover for the actuator. The bike's got new tires on it, front and rear. Of course, in the process of rebuilding the front suspension to lower it, you know, we replaced the seals and all that. The bushings have been replaced, so the suspension's all been upgraded. All new brake pads, full service, all the fluids have been replaced. We also took the tins off the bike, and they were wet sanded and polished and a couple of chips fixed. And now the paint looks good as new. I mean, it shines like it was brand new. And then I think the last little bit that we did, other than the LED bulb that we just installed, the Eagle lights, is I made this little chin spoiler because the factory chin spoiler isn't available anymore. That is actually a Harley-Davidson chin spoiler for a Dyna. And then I used some creative solutions, plus drilling the bracket it came with, and some stainless steel rubber isolated hose clamps and some nuts, and I got it to mount directly to the bar that holds the foot controls. So now it looks like it's supposed to be there, and it's just a little chin spoiler because, you know, it's speedy and stuff. So I think that, I mean, I may have missed some stuff, but I think that caught most of it up, Mel. So that's it for the upgrade. Not a lot out in the garage. We did ride to Eddie's Drive-In, our favorite spot, because it's like an old Americana drive-in with like car hops on roller skates and classic cars and stuff. And I didn't get a lot of video of being there because we were too busy shoving hot dogs and corn dogs into our pie holes. But we got ride video for the first time with our cool new helmet setups that I worked on a while ago. So that, you know, Mel and I are talking to each other over our intercoms, but then we kind of got camera. Nothing too fancy. We didn't. It was really just a test, but just throw it on the end of this video here. I had the choke on. Sorry about that.
I pulled it on all the way.
Oh. Okay, it was your fault.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get out in the street first like we always do.
Okay.
I don't see any cars coming, so. Y'all good in the hood, Melly. Looks like they fixed some concrete here, so we'll just stay to the left of it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to stop all the way, just so you can get through there.
My first rolling stop. Wow.
Breaking the law, breaking the law. Ride here often?
Why, yes, I do.
Puppy.
The doggy.
Nort, nort. Every time we stop here, I remember when Barney's crapped out its oil seal.
Yeah.
Dumped all of its oil right there on the street. We turned around a corner and hid. They had to call a tow truck. That's when you became a real biker, Mel. Had your first breakdown. Oh, Ferrari. Ew. He may have a Ferrari, but he doesn't have a wife rides motorcycles. Lame. He's so lame in his Ferrari.
How's it going, Mikey?
Going awesome. You are infinitely cooler than the dude in the Ferrari. Seriously.
You right beside me? Yeah. He looked at my camera.
Yep. They heard you coming, Mel. They had to look.
Yeah.
Sully's got a good park. You can go by him.
Okay.
I'll give him a wave. Checking you out, Mel. She's like, damn, that skinny white chick is riding that bike.
She's pretty nerdy, too.
Oh, I bet she thinks you're cool as hell, Mel. Not everybody rides, and certainly not all women ride. I still got a Ferrari behind me.
Yeah.
He's checking you out. It's like, damn, that chick is riding that cool bike. Back off, midlife crisis, that woman's mine.
You can go first for a while.
I was having fun riding behind you. You afraid to ride out there on your own?
Maybe.
There you go. Hammer that bitch, Mel. That's what that thing on the right is. That's the Go Fun button. I do miss Barney. We gotta get working on Barney again in the fall when the weather turns to crap. Barney's not going anywhere. We got lots of good plans for Barney. Yeah, we didn't make a lot of videos this past year, mainly because we were busy with work. But you know, with your dad passing away a year ago, we just didn't have any motivation to do it. You know. But I think your dad would be proud of you, Mel. Well, see, they're turning the same way. They're going to Eddie's. A lot of motorcycles out. Was that a wee I heard? Hey, that's what the throttle's for. That's the wee control. park in the back corner by this Corvair here. Swing wide and just come right in.
Okay.
I'll park up front. You can park behind me. You stay put. Let me get the hockey puck thing out. You're good. All right. Eddies, eddies, eddies. It's the official gut stop for Melly and I. Reward for Jack. 3-seat corn dogs. That is good. Ready, Freddy?
Yep.
All right. This place is awesome. Love that Corvette. That gets a 72. That must be that same guy that we saw, that Chris and I saw over at Wally's.
Yeah.
Then there's that, whatever that white car is. I'm not sure what that is. That's all custom.
Yeah.
All right. Get my lid down.
Alright. You go first. I'll follow you.
Okay. Yeah, got another Corvette creeping in here. I'm just gonna walk out here. Yeah, I'm out. We're goobers. Did you have a good time riding?
Yeah.
Did a good job.
Thanks.
Didn't feel rusty?
No. Not too bad.
Not too bad. All right, well, everybody ride safe. Bye.
Bye.
That's so weird. We're waving at each other.
I love it. To everybody here. Yes, all are welcome. Yes, indeed. I love them. Fun. Nice. Life. Youth. Beautiful.